This is a look at the drive on the way to St. Pete Beach, and it's a barrier island about 10 miles from downtown St. Petersburg, Florida. So we're going to have a look at what it looks like on the way there, show you what the town looks like around the beach, and talk about how this beach compares to other beaches like Clearwater Beach, which is a lot north of here. So coming up on the left is a good landmark, the pink hotel called the Don Cesar. From 1928 it was built, and it was very popular with a lot of famous people during the Jazz Age, and later on its owner died, it fell into disrepair, and the Army bought it as a military hospital during World War II. Eventually it was sold again in 1972 and reopened later, and so now it's kind of a high-end hotel down here, and a lot of movies have been filmed there, like Once Upon a Time in America. So this is Gulf Boulevard here, and this boulevard, you can take it all the way up to all the other beaches that are further north from St. Pete Beach, and you can take this all the way up to Clearwater Beach. So this town area is not very wide, it's like a street or two wide. It's surrounded on waters by both sides. So on the left is the Gulf of Mexico, and on the right is kind of like a bay between this barrier island and the mainland. While a lot of tourists do come here during the high season and stay at some of these hotels and condo rentals, a good majority of people live here year-round, so it's more of a town kind of feel around here. So if you head on this street, Gulf Boulevard, continuing in this direction, you're going to hit other places like Treasure Island, Madeira Beach, North Reddington Beach, Indian Shores, Indian Rocks Beach, and then Clearwater Beach. So this is the main street going through St. Pete Beach. This is Gulf Boulevard. On this side is the Gulf, the beaches, and on this side there's maybe a block or two of a few houses and whatnot and stores, and then there's water behind that. So if you're coming to St. Pete Beach, you're going to come through here, Gulf Boulevard, and this is the only municipal parking lot for St. Pete Beach. So it fills up pretty quickly, and we arrived here a little after 3, and it was a little hard to get a spot, but luckily we got one. So across the street is a public supermarket, Chick-fil-A, all that kind of stuff, and this strip is mainly hotels and summer rentals and that kind of thing. No real big high-rises or anything like that. There's smaller buildings, and so there's restaurants. There's a few bars on the water down here. So if you're staying down here, there's definitely places to go at night. I don't know that I would really come down here if I wasn't staying down here myself. So this is the parking lot. Let's have a look at the beach itself. So there's not that many spaces in here for this beach because it's pretty long, and parking is by meter. You put your credit card, you put your space number, and it's $2.75 an hour. So that's better than Clearwater. Clearwater is probably the same municipal parking, but it seems like a smaller lot, and the other lots, the private lots, are like $20, $30. The thing is that if you come over here and you don't find a spot here, you're pretty much stuck because there is no other parking. I remember there was a small private lot down the street, but I didn't see it on this trip, so I don't know if they shut it down because they're building something or whatever, but no lifeguards on duty. No lifeguards on duty, huh? There's a lot of beaches in Florida with no lifeguards on duty just because there's so many miles of beach they can't possibly hire a lifeguard for all of it, I guess. But the water out here is pretty calm because it's on the Gulf, so there's not a lot of waves unless it was a really windy day or there was a hurricane around. No dogs, no alcohol, no flames. Watch out, shuffle your feet for the Stingrays. They call it the St. Pete Shuffle. They say you're supposed to shuffle your feet when you go in the water because you might step on a stingray. And that's kind of scary to hear. But I've never shuffled my feet and I've never actually run into any stingrays, luckily, so far. Maybe today will be my unlucky day, who knows? I was just at Clearwater Beach yesterday, and the water wasn't nearly as clear as the water is here. It's definitely more see-through here. And yesterday there was a lot of seaweed and crap in the water. My nephews said it was dirty. It wasn't really dirty. There was no man-made stuff, but it was a lot of seaweed and whatever that got all over you. Here, it looks very clear, I would say. The water looks really good here, for sure. Much better than Clearwater Beach. I'm surprised, actually. Clearwater Beach is up north that way. So this is the same body of water, it's just a few miles up. You see, this beach is not nearly as crowded as Clearwater. Today's Sunday. Yesterday we were there on a Saturday. It was really packed. You see most of these hotels, they're not that high up. Maybe this one's what, 8, 9 stories, 10 stories, and they look like they were built kind of in the early 80s maybe. Not a lot of new construction over here like there is on Clearwater Beach. They really spent some money over there. Here you don't see any new high-rises or new hotels or anything like that. So this is what it looks like in St. Pete Beach on a Sunday in the middle of July, about what, 3:30 in the afternoon. Nice place to hang out if you don't want super duper crowds everywhere, really tough traffic and parking problems. I mean, there are some problems with parking here, but if you either come early enough or late enough, like after 3 o'clock or maybe 10 o'clock or so, you should probably be able to get a spot in the parking lot. That's my look at a summer day at St. Pete Beach in Florida. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.